Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pause for a moment and think about your life. Not just the days that pass, not just the seasons that come and go, but the unseen hand that has been guiding you all along. There is a mystery, a divine fingerprint that marks your journey. You may not have always understood it. You may have questioned it in times of trial. But make no mistake, God's hand is upon you, orchestrating your steps, positioning you for purposes beyond your comprehension. How do you know? Look around at the doors that have opened for you, even when you didn't ask for them. Look at the doors that closed, seemingly in frustration, yet ultimately spared you from paths that could have harmed you. These are not coincidences. These are divine interventions. The miraculous in your life is not always loud and flashy. Sometimes it whispers quietly in the alignment of circumstances, in the right people appearing at the right time, in opportunities that arrive just when you need them most. That is the mysterious proof that God is at work shaping your destiny. Think about your talents, your abilities, and your passions. They are not random. They are intentional. Every skill you possess, every lesson you've endured, every victory and every failure has been part of a divine blueprint. You may not see the entire map, but God sees it. He has measured your steps, and He has placed within you the tools you need to fulfill the purpose for which you were created. When you step into that truth, fear loses its grip, doubt is silenced, and you begin to walk with a boldness that shakes off the chains of hesitation. Even when life feels chaotic, when the world seems unpredictable, and every step you take is shadowed by uncertainty, there is a force greater than yourself moving in your favor. You may not always see it. You may not always understand it. But there is a divine alignment at work that orchestrates the unfolding of your life with precision and purpose. Consider for a moment the seasons you have walked through, the seasons of waiting, the seasons of challenge, the seasons where nothing seemed to make sense. In those times, it is easy to feel as though you are wandering aimlessly, as though your efforts are meaningless, and as though the world has forgotten you. But these are exactly the moments when divine alignment is most active. Even when doors close, even when relationships end, even when opportunities seem to slip through your fingers, there is a higher order at work, carefully arranging circumstances to position you for your breakthrough. It is not random that you have endured trials and tribulations. It is not a coincidence that the right people, resources, or opportunities seem to appear at precisely the moment you need them. There is a hand guiding the details, a hand unseen yet infinitely powerful, orchestrating every turn, every pause, and every leap forward in your life. Divine alignment is rarely obvious at first glance. It often works quietly, subtly, behind the scenes. You may feel frustrated when a plan you have been pursuing doesn't succeed immediately. But that very delay could be a protective measure, a strategic repositioning that ensures you are not moving forward prematurely or without the necessary resources. Timing is everything, and the hand that moves behind the scenes understands timing better than you ever could. You may be tempted to force doors open or to take matters into your own hands, but in doing so, you could disrupt the carefully laid plan. Patience becomes your ally. Trust becomes your shield. And awareness becomes the lens through which you can begin to recognize the invisible threads connecting your life to a higher purpose. Every missed opportunity, every unexpected obstacle, every seeming detour is a signal that divine alignment is at work, carefully weaving together the strands of your life in ways that will eventually reveal a picture far more and beautiful and purposeful than anything you could have planned on your own. When you look back on your life, even in hindsight, you will notice patterns that you could not see while living in the moment. Opportunities that appeared insignificant at the time may have been stepping stones to something greater. People who entered your life, who taught you lessons, who challenged or supported you, were placed there by an intentional design. Even mistakes and failures are part of the alignment, shaping your character, refining your perspective, and equipping you for the path ahead. What may have seemed like random chance or unfortunate circumstance is actually part of a divine rhythm, a cadence that keeps you moving toward your destiny. The universe may appear chaotic to the human eye, but there is a synchrony, a precision, a meticulous arrangement that ensures nothing is wasted. Nothing is overlooked, and nothing is left to chance. Recognizing divine alignment requires a shift in perspective. It requires seeing beyond immediate circumstances, beyond temporary setbacks, and even beyond personal expectations. It requires cultivating a mindset that is attentive, reflective, and sensitive to the guidance that surrounds you. When you begin to notice the subtle signs, the doors that open at the right time, the coincidences that feel too precise to be mere luck, the people who show up in your life with exactly what you need, you begin to awaken to the reality that your life is not left to chance. There's a force greater than circumstance, greater than human planning, and greater than fear itself, moving invisibly yet powerfully to ensure that every step you take is guided, every move you make is supported, and every journey you embark upon is infused with purpose. Understanding this truth transforms the way you approach life. You no longer react solely to the chaos around you. You begin to act from a place of awareness, intentionality, and faith. Challenges become opportunities for growth. Delays become lessons in patience. And uncertainty becomes an invitation to trust. You start to see your life not as a series of random events, but as a divinely choreographed dance where every step is measured, every encounter is significant, and every moment contributes to the ultimate unfolding of your destiny. In embracing this perspective, you are empowered to move boldly, to trust confidently, and to live courageously, knowing that no matter how turbulent the waters, there is a guiding hand steering your course. and nothing can divert you from the purpose for which you were created. Miracles are not always grand spectacles. They are not always accompanied by fireworks, loud proclamations, or sudden recognition. More often than not, they come in quiet, subtle ways, appearing in moments so ordinary that we almost miss them. Yet, if we pay attention, we begin to see the unmistakable fingerprints of divine favor scattered throughout our lives. There might be a word from a friend at just the right moment, a stranger offering guidance that seems too timely to be coincidence, or an unexpected opportunity arriving when the weight of despair feels heaviest. These moments are not random. They are deliberate, precise, and intentional. They are the quiet proof that God is moving behind the scenes, orchestrating outcomes that our eyes alone cannot yet comprehend. Think about the moments when something seemed impossible, and yet a solution presented itself as if from thin air. Perhaps you faced a challenge that felt overwhelming, one that seemed but beyond your capacity to overcome. Then suddenly a small opening appeared. A phone call, an email, a chance encounter that changed everything. The timing was impeccable. The alignment too perfect to dismiss as luck. These are miracles in their quiet form, demonstrating that even when circumstances appear bleak, the universe is working on your behalf. The subtlety of these miracles is part of what makes them mysterious and awe-inspiring. They require discernment to recognize and faith to trust, because often the hand that moves them is invisible to the naked eye, yet undeniable in its effects. The most extraordinary aspect of quiet miracles is that they often come when we are most vulnerable, when we feel least prepared, least deserving, or most uncertain. These subtle interventions appear. They are not always obvious, and they rarely arrive with fanfare. But their timing is impeccable. They remind us that we are not alone, that we are being watched over, and that the universe or the divine hand that guides it is intimately aware of our needs. Sometimes the miracle is not in what is given, but in what is withheld. Perhaps a door closes, a plan fails, or an expectation is unmet. At first, it may feel like disappointment, but in reality, it is a protective measure, a way of redirecting us towards something far greater than we could imagine. The quiet nature of these miracles invites us to cultivate a mindset of awareness, to sharpen our senses to the subtle signs that indicate divine intervention, and to remain open to guidance that may not look like what we expected. Miracles often reveal themselves through alignment, the right people appearing at the right time, resources showing up just when they are needed, or moments of clarity that provide solutions seemingly out of nowhere. They remind us that life is not random, that our struggles are not meaningless, and that our journey is guided by a force far greater than our own understanding. The timing of these miracles is never coincidental. They are strategically placed to guide us, to protect us, and to push us closer to the purpose for which we were created. When we begin to recognize these moments for what they are, we develop a heightened sense of trust in the unseen forces working on our behalf. And our faith is strengthened, not because everything is easy, but because we realize we are never truly alone in facing the challenges of life. The challenge, however, is that many of us are conditioned to look only for the dramatic, the obvious, or the extraordinary. We miss the quiet miracles because they don't shout. They don't demand attention, but they quietly shape the trajectory of our lives. A subtle shift in circumstance, a timely word, an opportunity that seems small yet carries immense significance. These are the ways miracles often work. When we become aware of these subtle signals, we start to understand the pattern of divine favor in our lives. We begin to notice that even when things seem uncertain or chaotic, there is a rhythm of precision in a hand that orchestrates outcomes for our good. Recognizing quiet miracles requires patience, attentiveness, and a willingness to trust. It requires us to pause, reflect, and acknowledge the seemingly small events that, when connected, reveal an undeniable pattern of divine guidance. When we cultivate this awareness, we start to see life differently. We start to see that the ordinary is extraordinary. That challenges our opportunities in disguise, and that every subtle intervention carries meaning. We begin to understand that miracles are not reserved for the few or the fortunate. They are available to all who remain open, vigilant, and ready to receive. As we learn to recognize these subtle miracles, our lives are transformed. We begin to move with confidence, knowing that no matter how quiet or small the moment may seem, there is power at work behind it. We are reminded that divine favor is not always loud, but it is always present, always effective, and always sufficient to guide us through the most challenging seasons of life. Every skill, every talent, every gift you possess was not given to you by accident. They are intentional, purposeful, and designed to equip you for the journey ahead. There is a unique blueprint to your life, a divine architecture that has carefully placed within you abilities and passions that, when cultivated and unleashed, have the power to transform not only your own life, but also the lives of those around you. Too often people underestimate the significance of their own capabilities, dismissing their potential because it does not look like someone else's, because it seems small, or because they have yet to fully recognize the value of what has been entrusted to them. But every talent you possess is a signal that your life is meant for a purpose greater than mere existence. You were created with intentionality, and your gifts are the tools you were given to fulfill that purpose. Consider how your abilities have shown up in your life. Perhaps there is a skill you have honed over years of effort, a talent that comes naturally, or a passion that burns within you. These are not coincidences. They are markers, signposts along the path pointing you toward the work you are uniquely qualified to do. Each of your strengths is like a key, and your life is a door waiting to be unlocked. The alignment of your natural abilities with the opportunities and challenges you encounter is evidence that you have been prepared for something greater. When you begin to embrace this truth, you start to see your potential not as something distant or abstract, but as a living, breathing force that can be activated in the world around you. The challenge, however, is that we often allow fear, doubt, or comparison to silence the voice of purpose within us. We look at someone else's abilities and wonder why ours are not as flashy or as recognized. We measure ourselves against standards that were never meant for us, failing to see that the very talents we possess are precisely what make us unique, what others may overlook. What may seem ordinary to the world is extraordinary in the hands of someone who is willing to cultivate it, develop it, and use it with courage. Your gifts are not meant to remain dormant, and the world does not need you to hide them. There is power in embracing your unique abilities, in stepping fully into the skills that have been designed for you, and in trusting that they have a purpose far beyond personal gain. Your talents are also shaped by the experiences you have endured. Every trial, every success, every failure has contributed to the formation of the person you are becoming. Your experiences are the scaffolding, the framework upon which your abilities are strengthened and refined. The challenges you have faced have not weakened you. They have sharpened your skills, expanded your understanding, and prepared you to step into opportunities that require wisdom, resilience, and discernment. When you begin to recognize that your gifts are inseparable from your experiences, you start to see that nothing in your life has been wasted. Every lesson, every season, and every challenge has been an investment in your potential, a preparation for the purposes that await your action. Moreover, embracing your talents requires intentional action. Possessing a gift is only the beginning. Developing it, nurturing it, and putting it into practice is what allows it to manifest fully. It is not enough to recognize your abilities. You must actively cultivate them, refine them, and align them with the opportunities and needs around you. This requires discipline, focus, and perseverance. It requires stepping into discomfort, confronting fear, and moving forward, even when the outcome is uncertain. The journey of activating your potential is both a responsibility and a privilege. And it is a path that demands courage, resilience, and unwavering faith in the value of what you have been given. As you begin to fully embrace the talents and abilities within you, your life begins to shift. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach become attainable. Challenges that once felt insurmountable become platforms for growth and demonstration of skill. People who once doubted your potential begin to see the evidence of what has been carefully placed within you. And most importantly, you start to realize that your life is not a series of random events, but a carefully orchestrated design with your talents, serving as the keys that unlock doors to purpose, impact, and fulfillment. When you step boldly into your abilities, when you refuse to minimize what has been entrusted to you. And when you commit to developing and using your gifts, you begin to live in alignment with the plan for which you were created. The talents within you are not just tools. They are signposts, weapons, and instruments of transformation that, when fully embraced, have the power to change your life and the world around you. Every challenge you face, every obstacle that rises before you, and every setback that seems insurmountable carries a hidden purpose. Life is not designed to give you only what is easy or convenient. It is designed to refine, strengthen, and prepare you for the extraordinary destiny that lies ahead. Challenges are not punishments. They are divine training grounds, arenas in which your character is forged, your resilience is tested, and your potential is revealed. Too often we look at struggles and see them as interruptions, inconveniences, or failures. But in reality, they are essential components of growth. They are the crucibles in which strength is tempered, perseverance is developed, and wisdom is acquired. When you begin to see challenges through this lens, you realize that nothing you endure is wasted. Nothing is meaningless, and every obstacle carries a lesson intended to prepare you for the next level of your journey. Life will inevitably test you. There will be moments when fear, doubt, and uncertainty loom large, when it seems easier to give up than to keep pressing forward. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that your character is revealed and your faith is deepened. Challenges expose the areas of your life that need growth, resilience, and refinement. They confront you with questions about who you are, what you believe, and how committed you are to the life you are destined to live. The tests may be difficult, exhausting, and even painful, but they serve a higher purpose. They reveal the strength within you that you may not have realized exist. They push you to discover your capacity for endurance, your ability to adapt, and your power to rise above circumstances that would otherwise hold you back. Every failure, every disappointment, and every moment of perceived defeat is part of this process. Failures are not final. They are temporary setbacks that provide critical insight, teach humility, and encourage strategic thinking. Each time you stumble, you gain knowledge that allows you to navigate the future with greater skill and awareness. Challenges sharpen your perspective, forcing you to reassess, to refocus, and to pursue your goals with renewed determination. They are opportunities in disguise, designed to cultivate patience, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to purpose. The greater the challenge, the greater the potential for growth, and the more prepared you become to embrace the victories that await you on the other side. It is also important to recognize that challenges often come with hidden blessings. What appears as a setback may in fact be a form of protection, or closed doors, failed plans, and unfulfilled expectations often redirect you toward paths that are better suited for your growth, success, and ultimate fulfillment. The universe, or the divine hand at work in your life, knows the terrain better than you Every obstacle you face is part of a larger design that seeks to align your life with your purpose. When you trust this process, even amid struggle, you develop a perspective that sees beyond immediate discomfort and recognizes the long-term value of endurance, patience, and perseverance. Challenges also cultivate empathy, compassion, and understanding. As you navigate difficulties, you gain insights that enable you to connect with others who face similar struggles. Your trials become a source of strength, not only for yourself, but also for those around you. You begin to see that your challenges are not merely personal burdens. They are instruments for shaping your character and equipping you to serve, inspire, and uplift others. The lessons you learn through adversity empower you to mentor, guide, and encourage those who may be walking similar paths, creating a ripple effect of growth, resilience, and hope. Moreover, challenges reveal the depth of your faith, your courage, and your determination. When you confront adversity with perseverance, you demonstrate a commitment to purpose that cannot be shaken by circumstances. You show that you are willing to endure the necessary hardships, confront the difficult moments, and rise above fear to pursue the life you were created to live. Each obstacle you overcome strengthens your confidence, builds your resilience, and affirms that you are capable of navigating any trial with wisdom and grace. The path of life is never free from challenges. Yet, it is precisely through these challenges that you are prepared for the extraordinary. Every struggle, every setback, and every trial carries within it the seeds of transformation, the opportunity to grow stronger, and the promise of a future that reflects the courage, faith, and determination you cultivate along the way. The power to overcome lies within you. And every challenge you face is an invitation to rise, to persevere, and to embrace the extraordinary destiny that awaits those who refuse to be defeated. Faith is not merely a passive feeling. It is an active force that demands action, courage, and commitment. So awareness that God's hand is upon your life is a powerful truth. But it alone is not enough to unlock the destiny you were created to live. Faith without action is like a river that never flows, a seed that never sprouts, a fire that remains unlit. The moment you recognize that divine favor surrounds you, the responsibility becomes clear. You must move. You must step forward. You must act boldly in the direction of the opportunities, the callings, and the purposes that have been carefully orchestrated for you. Life will not pause for you to gather courage. Destiny will not wait while you remain hesitant. The proof of God's hand is shown most vividly when you take the next step. Even when the path seems uncertain, even when fear whispers in your ear, and even when the outcome is not yet visible. Action transforms potential into reality. Every moment you act on faith, every step you take in alignment with the opportunities before you creates momentum. It is in movement that the invisible hand becomes visible through the outcomes that begin to manifest. Waiting passively, doubting your ability, or questioning your worth only delays the manifestation of what has already been positioned in your life. There is a power in obedience to the call, in moving forward despite uncertainty, in doing what you know is right even when it feels uncomfortable. Faith is not proven by what you believe in your mind. It is proven by what you do with the life, the talents, and the opportunities that have been entrusted to you. Consider the many moments in life where breakthrough occurs, just beyond hesitation. So often people stop short of the door that is opening for them because fear tells them to wait, because doubt convinces them they are unworthy, or because uncertainty clouds their vision. But the step of faith is what distinguishes those who experience destiny from those who merely observe it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to move forward in spite of fear. Each bold step you take, no matter how small it may seem, is a declaration that you are ready to receive, ready to fulfill, and ready to walk in alignment with the divine plan. Faith that moves is also contagious. When you act on the opportunities before you, you inspire others to recognize their own potential and to step into the life that has been designed for them. Bold action creates momentum, and momentum attracts provision, favor, and alignment. Doors that seem closed begin to open. Support that seemed distant begins to arrive. And solutions to problems that felt impossible start to appear. The simple act of stepping forward in faith triggers a chain reaction of divine orchestration, revealing that you are not acting alone and that the hand guiding you is ever present, powerful, and intentional. Moreover, acting on faith requires persistence. It is rarely a one-time decision or a single leap. It is a continual commitment to move forward, to try again after failure, to rise stronger after setbacks, and to remain steadfast even when progress seems slow. Every step taken in faith, even when imperfect, builds strength, wisdom, and resilience. Each attempt, each effort, and each act of courage becomes part of the proof that you are walking in alignment with the destiny that has been prepared for you. The journey of faith is cumulative. Momentum builds, doors align, and opportunities multiply when you refuse to remain stagnant and instead choose to act consistently in accordance with the calling on your life. Faith also requires discernment and focus. It is not blind action. It is guided intentional movement aligned with your purpose, recognizing the opportunities, understanding your gifts, and trusting your instincts while remaining sensitive to guidance ensures that your actions are productive and transformative. Each deliberate step taken in faith is a demonstration that you understand the power of divine alignment and that you are willing to cooperate with the forces at work to bring your potential into reality. Ultimately, faith that moves transforms both the individual and the circumstances around them. It turns dreams into accomplishments, challenges into triumphs, and potential into tangible results. The invisible becomes visible, the uncertain becomes clear, and the impossible becomes possible. Every act of courage, Every bold decision, every persistent step is evidence that you are walking in the mysterious proof that God's hand is on your life. When faith is paired with action, life itself becomes the canvas on which divine orchestration paints the masterpiece of your destiny. Your life is more than a personal journey. It is a testimony, a living demonstration of the power, purpose, and providence that guides those who walk in alignment with the divine. Every decision you make, every step you take, and every challenge you overcome has the potential to inspire and influence others. When you begin to live boldly, fully embracing the hand of God that guides you, your life becomes evidence of what is possible. When faith meets action, perseverance meets opportunity, and preparation meets purpose, people around you begin to witness a pattern, a rhythm, and a power that cannot be explained by coincidence alone. They see the impact of divine guidance in the way you navigate challenges, in the way doors open seemingly at the perfect time, and in the way your talents align with the purpose you are called to fulfill. Your life becomes a message that resonates louder than words. A demonstration that God's hand is not only real, but active, intentional, and powerful in shaping destiny. Every choice to act with integrity, courage, and purpose amplifies this testimony. When you refuse to settle for mediocrity, when you rise above fear and doubt, and when you embrace your gifts to serve and inspire, your life communicates a truth that cannot be denied. People notice the consistency of your character, the resilience of your spirit, and the evidence of your faith in action. Even those who do not believe may find themselves compelled to acknowledge the extraordinary nature of what is happening in and through you. Your life becomes a beacon, a visible proof that when someone is aligned with divine purpose, their influence stretches beyond themselves, impacting families, communities, and even generations in ways that are far greater than what you may immediately see. The influence of your life extends beyond accomplishments and successes. It is demonstrated in the way you respond to adversity, in the grace you exhibit under pressure, and in the compassion you show to others along your path. Your example teaches those around you how to persevere, how to trust in how to embrace their own potential. People are inspired not only by the milestones you achieve, but also by the resilience and faith you demonstrate in pursuing them. Every challenge you overcome becomes a case study in perseverance. Every triumph a lesson in preparation and action, and every moment of bold decision-making a testimony to the invisible guidance that has led you. Living as a witness requires intentionality. It requires you to embrace your purpose fully, to step boldly into your potential, and to refuse to hide or diminish the gifts and abilities that have been entrusted to you. It demands courage because being a visible example of divine alignment often means stepping into situations that are uncomfortable, confronting fears that have held you back, and taking risks that others may not understand. Yet, it is precisely through these acts of boldness that your life begins to inspire, influence, and illuminate the path for others. People watch closely even when silently, and the way you navigate life communicates a powerful message that your faith, your courage, and your alignment with purpose can achieve what seems impossible. Your life also becomes a source of hope. Those who have faced setbacks, disappointments, or challenges can see through your example that it is possible to overcome, to rise above, and to thrive despite circumstances. They witness the proof that God's hand is active and purposeful, that divine guidance is real, and that no obstacle is too great for someone willing to trust, act, and persevere. Your victories, both large and small, demonstrate that preparation, faith, and bold action yield results. And they create a ripple effect that inspires others to step into their own potential with confidence and determination. Furthermore, your life as a witness is not limited to what you do consciously. Every choice, whether seemingly small or monumental, contributes to the message you send to the world. Your perseverance, your dedication, your courage, and your integrity all serve as evidence that there is more at work than human effort alone. People observe patterns, see results, and recognize alignment, even if they do not fully understand the forces behind them. Your life becomes a story that speaks volumes about the presence, power, and providence of God, demonstrating that when someone walks with intention, faith, and courage, extraordinary outcomes are inevitable. Ultimately, understanding your life as a living witness transforms the way you approach every day. It encourages you to act with purpose, to embrace opportunities, and to face challenges with confidence, knowing that your journey carries meaning far beyond personal success. You'll realize that your actions, decisions, and perseverance are not only shaping your destiny, but also inspiring, influencing, and uplifting those around you. The world becomes a stage upon which the proof of God's hand is displayed through your life. And every step you take, every challenge you overcome, and every gift you employ contributes to a powerful testimony that will echo long beyond your own experience. Here,